Evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Malt and Magic, the Forgotten Kingdom of Nylin. This is episode 12. Ticking along nicely now. As always, I'm Matt Isbell, the Dungeon Master for tonight. We'll meet our lovely players in a second, but before I do that, just want to say a huge thanks to Tabletop Audio, Battle Bards, Ben Sound for the sound effects and music, D&D Beyond for character creation and just general game management. Awesome. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about D&D Beyond by now. And also huge shout out to incarnate.com, the tabletop map builder online. Really useful, we found for me. But less of the shout outs now. Let's get into the game. Before I do, as always, adult humour, adult language, you have been warned. Let's go. Hey. Here we are. So, episode 12.
Yeah.
Not got the whiskey yet. That's coming in a little bit. It's also the coldest in August, I remember. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's freezing.
Yeah, so jump around in August is not good. Good. So, we had quite an interesting episode last week. There was, I think it was a total RP episode, actually. I don't think there was 1 ounce of combat, which was awesome. So you guys had obviously made your way back from Greenflower on the Winter's Tale, and we started last week having woken up in the Cherry Blossom Inn in the middle of Seameet, and you decided you needed to do a little bit of shopping, needed to do a little bit of investigation. Discovered that there'd been a new camp of Tabaxi, which had that tribe had made a little bit of a home in Seameet for now, and you spent much of the episode actually conversing with the Tabaxi tribal leader, and traded some stories, learned a few things. The bard in Ander started to come out a little bit more, I think. Kirek got drunk, albeit for about 10-15 minutes, and him and Bothryd ventured on back to the tavern, while Dargon and continued to speak to the Tabaxi chief, but then also decided to pay a visit to the lighthouse after they finished. A little bit of shopping in the middle of there as well. I suspect there's going to be a shopping whole episode at some point coming up. But we left with Ander and Dargon charging the locked lighthouse door. And that is where we're going to begin tonight. So as you both charge down the door just smashes open, bits fly everywhere, and you both tumble into almost a quarter circle room. The only light now coming through the doors behind you, but it is enough to illuminate the door you're in. Immediately before you, you see a staircase in the centre of the lighthouse, which winds its way up. You can only assume up to the next level, wherever that is. To the left, however, there is a broken cabinet, books, vials, all sorts, or just a plethora of objects just strewn about on the floor. And next to that cabinet is a corpse. Just beyond the corpse, as I say, there's a wall just immediately to your front left of that sort of circular staircase is a door, which is currently shut.
How well can we see in here?
With the light from outside, this room is pretty much fully illuminated.
Cool.
Do I recognise the dead guy or girl?
You're probably a little bit too far away to see at this point. You're a good 15-20 feet away.
Are there any more bodies around in the room?
Not in this room.
Not in this room.
And does us smashing through the door, do we hear then any scurry of feet or any noises off the back of that?
Make me a perception check, please.
Oh, 10.
No.
Don't think so. Can I go and see if I recognise the corpse, please?
You can. So as you walk up to this corpse, make me an investigation check, please.
13.
The corpse itself is fresh. The armour, however, and the sort of symbols, any of the sort of regalia that's on it, you do not recognise. And I should say at this point, it is a corpse that is fully encased in what looks like plate armour.
And do
Okay,
you recognise him?
No. What is odd is that this is the thieves' den, and he doesn't appear to be dressed like a thief. He's in full plate armour. I'm not sure what's gone on here.
Do you know?
And then can I?
Do you know what killed him?
Oh, can I see any stab wounds, fatal wounds, or anything?
As you look at the body, based on the blood that is on the floor around it, there was a neck wound somewhere.
Okay. And while I investigate, can I have a look at the vials and the broken cabinet? But while I do that, can I sneakily just dip my sword in the blood?
Absolutely.
Because it's fresh. Thanks.
So looking at the vials and sort of the cabinet and the books and stuff, make me another investigation check, please.
It's a bit better. 15.
Okay, with the 15, the vials themselves look like they may have been various types of simple potions. The books are a plethora of different things, from just basic histories of places, some stories and tales, and then there's also a couple which are sort of lockpicking for dummies type books, and how to pick pockets, those sorts of things.
The history books and the story books I will put in my bag of holding, thinking
Very well.
us and or Kirek might find them useful to corroborate some of his scrolls. And the vials are empty now, are they?
The vials are smashed all over the floor.
Right, okay. So I've gathered all my things. Is there anything else nothing else in the room? Is it just this mess and then another door and the stairs leading up?
The only other things you would see in this room is an unlit wall sconce just behind you, to sort of as you look back at the doorway just to the right hand side, and then the fallen person's sword, which is just sort of discarded nearby them.
What sort of sword is it? Is it a special sword? Does it have any markings that might show
Make me an
anything?
Arcana check.
Oh, 8.
You have no idea whether this sword is magical or not. However, it does look like a plainish longsword. Doesn't look
Right, okay.
like there's no symbols or anything on it to discern it from any of the longsword. Put it that way.
There's no symbols on the armour either.
No. Well, there are symbols on the armor, but you don't recognise them.
Dargon, come and see if you recognise the markings on this armour. I can't seem to jog my memory or recognise them at all.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Stand out the light.
I will see if I know if I've seen it before.
Make me an investigation check, please.
19.
Nice.
So with a 19, you look... Nothing springs to mind.
No. Never seen this before. You, should we see if we can, take the sword? Can always sell it. Don't mean to, pick a dead man's body, but why don't we, he don't need it anymore.
I seem to be rubbing off on you, Dargon.
I know.
The grave cleric in the tavern just twitches slightly.
Spider sense is tingling. Yes, I've also collected some books that I think Kirek or ourselves might find useful, like history books and story books.
You mean you and Kirek? I ain't much for books.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I can read it to you at night times.
Try it.
I'll pick up the sword, just put it in the holding, bag of holding, or on my back, or wherever I can take it, as a cattail goes past. And then...
Did you want to fully scout this floor first? Did you want to see what's behind that door before we venture upstairs?
Your choice. These were your guys.
It appears there may be none left. Can I go to the door to see if I can hear anything behind it, or discern if there's anybody on the other side of the door?
Make me a perception check, please.
15.
So the 15, you can't hear anything on the other side of the door.
Okay. I'm going to try to open the door. Get ready, Dargon. I'm going to try and
push on the door. It is locked.
I fucking broke my lockpick as well. To be honest, we made enough noise coming in. They know, if people know we're here, they know we're here by now.
Yeah. Shall we do door number 2? Give us a hand.
Yep, we're going to try and smash the door in. Smash the back door in.
Roll strength with advantage then, please, Mr. Ricks.
Yeah, where the hell? Strength, that one, 21.
21, so yeah, again, you, with a little bit of help from Ander, just charge at this door and this one just obliterated into splinters. And this room is much darker. You've now got a narrower sort of funnel for the light from outside to go through.
So I will cast light on the front of my shield, on the gem on the front of my shield.
Cool. So as you cast light, it'll be like a torchlight now, just shining around the room. About 5 feet in front of you, there's a broken chair. Again, another wall sconce, but you can also see broken glass on the floor underneath it, as if there was glass in this sconce. About sort of midway around the room, as you imagine the lighthouse going around the corner, there is another corpse, similar armour, and that's what you can currently see from where you are.
Another body,
We don't hear nothing.
You don't hear anything, no.
Okay. Well, I shall be guided by your light, Dargon, if you want to lead the way.
I stand in a place where Ander can get past, but I'm still illuminating the majority of the room,
Okay.
so that he can get past.
Do you want to check that body?
Okay.
Looks like it's the same armour.
I'll go and investigate the body, please. See if well, see if he's got anything on him of note, or see if he's a face I recognise, or anything like that.
As you go up to where the body is, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Of course. Ah, 17.
So you step forward towards the body, and then just as your foot hits a certain part of the floor, you feel it shift just beneath your foot, and you manage to dart out the way as, out of nowhere, 4 crossbow bolts just fly in front of you.
Should have seen that coming, shouldn't I?
You good, Andy? Did I hit you?
I think it took the end off my nose, but I'm okay. I think I'm okay.
Glad you got a light foot. Maybe we need to check the
Reflexes
traps.
of a cat. Yes. Belatedly and retrospectively, with hindsight, do I see or perceive any more traps?
Make me a perception check, please.
16.
So you now clearly see the pressure plate just in front of you on the floor. You don't see any other traps in your immediate vicinity.
And what else do we see in the room then?
So as you now come around the corner, and Anders just sort of crouched back a little bit, you see another broken wall sconce just beyond, just on the other half of the turn, if you like. There is what looks like a broken chest, and as you peer around the corner, there is another door, another sort of wall. You can imagine these 2 walls that you've currently passed have almost bisected, when I'm not hitting the mic, bisected the whole room. There is another door on that wall, and another broken chair just next to that wall.
Looks like there was a bit of a fight around here.
Yes, it just makes me wonder who these people are. Why are they here, and why are they? Maybe they're somewhat law enforcement, and they decided to raid the thieves' den. That's my running theory at the moment. Could I go and check out the chest, avoiding the pressure plate? Actually, I've checked out. I haven't checked out the dead guy yet, have I? I said I was going to. I will do that bit first.
What are you looking
Check
for?
him out. I want to see if he's got any goodies on him.
Okay.
And a second time I'm trying to see if I can jog my memory on whether I recognise who these people are.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check, please.
Natural 20. 22 altogether.
Cool. So with a natural 20, you now sort of pat the body down, find a coin purse, which as you take a cheeky look inside, 50 gold coins in there.
I'll have some of that.
You also find a piece of paper or piece of parchment rolled up inside the same coin purse. Now, remind me of the languages you speak. You're muted.
I speak Abyssal, Common, Elvish, Sylvan, and Thieves' Cant, but that's not proper language.
Cool. So you recognise the script to be Elvish, and it is a warrant for the arrest of one Obaya Inoue, wanted for thievery, murder, and that's it, sorry, thievery and murder. And there is a seal at the bottom, but you do not recognise the seal.
Come here, do you recognise this seal? I've got a warrant here for a buyer's arrest, the leader of this thieves guild, who's wanted for murder and thievery. It's written in Elvish, but I don't recognise the sigil. Have you come across this? And I'll pass it to Dargon.
Is the sigil different on the paper than it is to the armour?
One of the symbols, bearing in mind there's multiple symbols on the armour, one of them matches.
Okay. So, if I didn't recognise it last time, I take it I don't recognise this time.
You can make me another check, but to be honest, no.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. I didn't twig they were the same symbol. Okay.
Nah, same
So-
one as on the armour. But
So
we haven't really met many elves around here, have we?
no. Are these the? I don't.
Sorry,
So
I look back
could
at the
they be-
bodies. Are they elvish or are they human?
So Dargon now reaches down and removes one of the helmets, and they are indeed elves.
Well, that explains the elvish. The only place I'm aware of, and I could be wrong, is the forest, which
Yes.
isn't that far away from here.
Maybe that is where Obaya has plied some of his trade, and he is garnered the attention of the Fae.
Oh, you're not telling me he actually knows his way into that forest and we bloody talk to him? He best
fear-
still be alive.
I fear we may not get to speak to him again, but
I don't
Let's-
hold out hope. Right, now we definitely need to search this place. If he's still here, we need his help.
yes, agreed. Do I see any traps between us and the next door?
Make me a perception check, please.
13. Very mediocre
No.
tonight, morons.
You do not detect any traps.
Would you like to go first, Dargon?
Oh, throw me
Here's
in,
a
why
buff.
don't you?
I meant because you have the light source, obviously.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, alright. You owe me a beer. Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay. So as Dargon steps around, you are met with another door.
And as Dargon goes in front, while he's not looking, again, put my sword in the dead guy because he's fresh. Get some more blood for the sword.
Okay, so from your description, Matt, there was the wall bisecting the lighthouse sort of in the middle. We're in the other
Yeah.
half of it. This
Yeah.
door presumably then, I would believe, goes back to the other room. Is that what
No.
what I'd understand?
So when you first entered, there was the wall straight ahead of you with the
Yeah.
door, and there was another one which sort of came a little bit sort of angled off.
Oh, okay.
So what you can assume now is that there is a smaller, just triangular sort of room.
Cool. All right. Well, there's a door here. Are we going to use my type of lockpick? Or you...
Or-
Actually, I'll just check if it's open.
And I also forgot I was going to check out the chest, see what was in the broken chest.
I'll
Okay,
do that while
do
I
you
check if
check
the
chest
door's
out?
open.
Yep, we'll do it simultaneously, yeah. So I'll check the chest while Dargon checks the door. Investigation or perception for me?
It will be investigation for yourself and perception for Dargon.
What, see if it's locked?
Yeah.
21 altogether. But not a natural 20.
18.
So Dargon, you check the door. Yep, it's locked. And as you look inside this broken chest, it's been stripped. However, at the bottom, you see a familiar kit, which just happens to be thieves' tools.
Got my lockpick back.
They were arranged in such a way that, on their own, the individual pieces appear to be useless. But as you sort of are familiar with them and you pull the pieces together, it makes a lockpicking kit and a thieves' tool set.
Nice. Thank you very much.
You,
I shall obviously have that.
door's locked and, do you want me to smash it in again?
Kick that motherfucker down.
Cool, I will.
What's a medieval version of motherfucker? Is there one? I'll Google it later. I'll bring it in next week.
Ye oldie, maybe? I don't know.
Ye oldie motherfucker. Well, it's going to surely it's going to be.
Shafter.
Yeah.
Hear ye, hear
Along those
ye.
lines.
Yippee-ki-yay,
Wouldn't be a
motherfucker.
maiden either, would it?
No.
Defiler of mistresses? I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't then Dargon.
Wench bummer.
You giving me an under or not?
Yeah. I'll get one up.
They're both
Excellent
cocked.
advantage.
Jesus Christ, I'll try that again. Yeah, fuck it. 15.
This time, as you both run, you hit the door and boom, bounce back, and there is the distinct sound of metal on metal.
Oh. This could be like a safe room. Or even a panic room, actually. Thinking about it. Should
Well,
I try to
my
pick
method
the
of
lock?
Yeah, but you just broke your lockpick, didn't you?
Or when I broke, is it possible for me to discern whether if the lock in this is similar to the lock in the front door that I broke my original lockpick on without
Maybe an
actually sticking it in?
check, please. I'm going to say with advantage because you are proficient with locks.
20. Thank you for the advantage.
So the locks are different. However, now as you study this lock, you can see that the door is painted very well with a wooden effect, but is actually a solid metal door.
So I could potentially pick it. I think I should give it a try because you wouldn't try and conceal this door to look like an ordinary door if it didn't hide something either of value or to hide people. So, and I'm thinking if people were hiding in here and the guards were trying to get through the corridor and they were getting killed by the booby traps, for example, this could be where. Yes, so I'll try and pick the lock, please.
Okay.
Can
so,
you?
I mean,
You
Carry on,
know
Dargon.
this door looks wood but is metal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to unlock it to find out whether it's also trapped? Was this the only trap in here?
That's a good point. Does the lock mechanism appear to set off any traps, or is there any tripwires or anything around the
can you
door?
make me a perception check, please?
Ooh. 7.
You do not detect any traps.
No, I didn't think it would. All appears to be in order to me, Dargon.
Cool. Bust it open.
I attempt to crack that bad boy open.
Okay, so I need you to roll me a d20 and add your proficiency bonus. Just checking that's how it works. I think it is. I don't think you have to add any dexterity or anything. Bear with me.
Might be dex and proficiency.
Yeah, proficiency. Add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make to disarm traps
Tools.
or
Add
unlock.
proficiency with a tool
locks.
allows you to apply a proficiency bonus to an ability check you make using that tool. Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm rolling like a tosser. 8.
8. So you struggle. It's not budging.
I fear that I'm just getting forever rusty with my old ways.
Gotta start stealing more.
I know.
Might be something.
I'm gonna have to
that requires
turn
a
this-
bit more practice.
Turn this leaf a bit back over.
Well,
Can
don't
I
know.
go and get the go back and get the lock picking for dummies book, please?
It is in your bag.
No.
Oh,
you-
good.
No, you
I
only
only
picked up
stowed the history
and-
books.
yeah.
And the
Okay,
story
in which
books.
case, yes, you can go back.
I will go get, and then I'll go get that book with my hanging my head in shame as I walk past Dargon because I've the thing I'm apparently good at I've failed in. I'll go get the lock picking book for dummies and bring it back.
Watch the other trap,
Okay.
you fool.
Yes, avoiding the traps, obviously.
So you go back and pick the book up, and then come back to the door. I'm going to say for this, you open the book and you begin to just sort of read and sort of reacquaint yourself with the various lock mechanisms and how to correctly use your thieves' tools. Make me a perception check, please.
How long's this taking?
Bear with me.
Yeah.
16.
As you sort of flick through the book, the back of the book feels distinctly heavier than it should.
Ooh. Can I then flick to the back of the book and feel, is there like a seam or a pocket, or can I just cut the back of the cover off to see?
Yeah, so as you cut into the back of the cover, you find a key.
Now we're talking. Can I try the key in the door?
You can. You place the key in the door and no, doesn't open.
Fuck.
That might have been the door we blew up.
Yeah. Still, this may be useful. I'll stow it in my pocket for now. Should I try again to pick the lock, do you think? I don't think we can leave this door unopened.
If you've learnt anything from the book, sure, give it a whirl. Otherwise,
Consider me a
we're
professional.
stumped.
So I'll say you spend another 10-15 minutes studying the book, and this time roll with advantage.
Get in. Still only a 15, but it's better. 15.
So you have to work at this lock, but eventually, chink, the lock opens.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. And then I open the door.
I held the shield
As
up.
you push on the door, it doesn't budge.
Oh, is it a pull door instead?
You go to pull the door, and it still doesn't budge.
Oh, that's good.
So I've unlocked it, but it still doesn't open. Fucking doors.
Our greatest enemy.
Is it not opening because it feels barricaded from the other side?
Make me
Is it magically
perception check, please.
16.
As you push and then pull, again, being familiar with locking mechanisms and doors, you get the feeling there's probably a second or even maybe a third lock on this door somewhere.
So can I check at the top of the door, the bottom of the door, to see if there's any more keyholes or mechanisms?
So as you do reach up sort of to the top of the door, you find a little panel which just slides over, and you find another lock with a different shaped keyhole this time. And then you feel around, and that is the only other lock you find.
Does the key fit in this lock?
No.
Can I reach it properly to pick it, or will I need to stand on Dargon?
It's a little bit difficult to properly do it. You'd be reaching up, and it's kind of an awkward angle.
Are all the chairs
If
broken
you're
in
simply
here?
stood.
Yep.
Yes, all the chairs are broken in here.
I'm gonna need a leg up, Dargon.
Alright then.
I'll do that thing where
Brace.
you sort
If you-
of brace. If I brace it, with my back to the door, and he just stands on my legs, on my knees. He's probably going to be too
Okay.
tall
So,
at that point.
we're cocked to face. Is that the way you want to do
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. If that's the way you want to play it.
I didn't think this through, Under. Get on with it, will you?
So I'm picking the lock, wiggling the hips.
I was about to say thrusting,
Well,
probably, knowing you.
D20 with your proficiency bonus, please.
Oh my god. 7.
Jesus Christ, Andy, go and get a drink.
Pring.
Me. I need a new dice.
One of the lockpicks in this thieves' tools snaps.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to try again. If possible. With the remaining kit. And I got an 18 that time using my actual dice. That's better.
So the first one snaps. Fuck, you pull out the last remaining one that you've got in this kit, and the whole lock just turns full 180 degrees, and now you feel the door give slightly, and with Dargon's weight against it, and you both tumble through.
We're in.
And it's very, very... Well, Dargon's still got his light going, so usually it would be very difficult to see in this room. There's no windows. In fact, the only opening into this room is the door that you've just fallen through. As you fall, you narrowly avoid hitting a very large wooden chest that is bound in iron. And that is the only thing in this room.
I'll shove Ander off me and get up. Point the shield.
Pause there. Kirek, you have spent
Welcome back.
much of this time still conversing with Bothryd in the tavern, and it's probably now been a good hour or so, hour and a half, since you last saw Ander and Dargon. What is it you and Bothryd are doing at this point?
Yeah, we've probably just been conversing, but at this point I'll kind of look towards the door and I'll say to Bothryd, it's been a while since we saw our companions.
And Bothryd has very much been playing with the new mace that you've given him and just sort of twirling around a little bit, and he goes, yes. Wonder where are.
I'm going to perhaps send a message. See if I get a reply from any of them. Either of them.
What? Use pigeon? Rat?
No. I can reach out with magic.
Ooh.
And I'll, at this point, grab my holy symbol. Focus on the person of Ander. And I will send the following message. Where are you? Bothryd and I are at the tavern. Are you still talking to Candle? Let me know where you are. Please reply mentally.
Nice.
You're muted, Danny.
Does the sword allow telepathic messages to reach me?
So, you are at this point sort of just standing up and about to look at this chest when in your head the voice of Kirek just suddenly sounds, and you, having not experienced a lot of telepathic interaction, almost crap your pants, but then listen to the message that Kirek is sending you, and you begin to understand that this is Kirek using his sending ability, or message ability, sorry. And you get the message of where the hell are you?
I nearly took it literally when he said reply mentally. I was like... do I also have 25? Do I also have 25 words?
Yes.
You don't know.
Words. Well, yeah, you don't know actually, do you?
I don't know that, do I? We're in the lighthouse. Have a mystery to solve. All help welcome. May need backup. And that's what I'll send back.
I think the first 5 words are
Tasmanian devil. Yeah, I used some of my 25 words going, holy fuck, what was that?
So, Kirek, back, you do just get a string of expletives, and then the explanation of we're in the lighthouse, got a mystery to solve, any help would be welcome.
And did you speak that, or do it in your head?
I don't know how it works, so I kind of just said it out loud.
So, you all right?
It's the weirdest thing. Kirek just spoke to me in my head. I've never had anything like it. Although I know the sword talks to me, but that's different. This just blindsided me out of nowhere. But well, you heard what I said. I've told him to come join us. To bring Bothryd. Well, I hope he brings Bothryd.
Didn't hit you 2 hard in the head or anything, did I?
Ooh, maybe. Once you find out,
Dargon, make me a medicine check.
We know it was real.
Fucking hell, plus 5.
As you're concerned, you're a bit like, maybe he did hit his head. I mean, he talks to the sword, but...
So in that case,
Yeah.
I'll turn to Bothryd and say, they appear to have gone to the lighthouse instead of heading back here. So they have a mystery they are investigating. You should follow along. Might get in trouble.
Okay. Lighthouse. Bad people. Steal things. Children steal things.
So I can see why Ander was interested in it. Let's
True.
get up and make our way to the lighthouse.
Because Dargon's not overly sure what the hell just happened, but he has twigged the fact that actually they're not there.
And that's a good point. Shall I go and get them? Because they should...
I've already told them to come. In my head, I think they should be on their way. If what just happened works.
Do you know what you're saying, Ander? You just spoke to them in your head.
Well, the more I think on it, Kirek did say he has sent messages to Timael and other people, so...
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot he could do that. Yeah, right. Okay.
I'm just thinking in my head, do I know that because I'm...
Well, no, we were actually having the conversation on the back of the ship when we interrupted you, so yes, we do know that you could do that.
Alright, well, I'll keep an ear out for him. You crack on.
You watch my back while I crack this chest. So is it a chest wrapped in like iron chains, is it?
It's just like iron bands all over it, so it's just an iron and wood chest, effectively.
How big is the chest?
Before we, so it's probably around 7 foot wide and almost 4 or 5 foot deep, and stands probably about 2 or 3 foot tall.
Not something I could drag out.
Kirek, Bothryd, as you make your way through sort of the town and head towards the lighthouse, the Tabaxi party is still ongoing. There's a lot of revelry going off in that corner, and you can see there's people rolling barrels of ale from the tavern towards the party, and it seems like the whole town is now heading over there to enjoy themselves. The market stalls are beginning to empty as people are just sort of shutting shop, realizing they're not going to do a massive trade today. And the rest of the town itself seems relatively empty, apart from all the noise and stuff you hear. As you approach the lighthouse, the door is totally in pieces, like hanging off its hinges, and that's all you see as you approach. Dargon and under the chest.
Yes, so does it have a lock on it?
You see... Make me an investigation check, actually, for that one.
Oh, fucking hell. I only rolled a 1, didn't I?
You see a central lock, and that's about all you see, as this message coming into your head has totally fucked with your senses.
Yeah. I will try and put the key I have found in the lock, please.
Okay. As you put the key in the lock and turn it, a number of spikes shoot out of the chest
Of course I do. Twat.
into your
Yeah.
hand, and you take... Shit me.
I was going to say, before I checked for... No, but I didn't. I already
7d10
did it.
piercing damage.
You take 1 point of piercing damage and 46 points of poison damage.
Fuck.
Can I uncanny dodge any of that?
No.
Oh, I'm fucking nearly dead.
Oh,
so
yeah.
47 points of damage.
47 points
Fuck
of damage.
me in the ass. That's what you get for wanting treasure, innit?
Yeah.
So I'm flat out at this point. I'm laying on my back like, oh!
And Dargon, all you see at this point is Ander put the key in the lock and then just ting, ting, and Ander just literally falls back and he's looking a little bit green.
I grab him by the shoulder or the collar of the cloth and just drag him back out of there.
Ander, you alright? That looked bloody painful.
No, I'm not okay.
Is he poisoned or just took poison damage?
Just took poison damage.
Alright.
Oh, shit.
Actually, so at that point, I read my list.
I've just seen the WhatsApp message.
I've only sent that to you.
So I mean, I've just seen it.
I swear I could do. Oh yeah. Sorry. It's not there. Healing light. I place my hand on Ander for 6 points of healing.
Of which I can take 3.
Ander, make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, I'm really good at those. +0. Oh, not too bad. Oh no, that's not an 8. 10. I thought it was an 18, but it's not, is it? 10.
As Dargon lays his hand on you and you take those 3 points of health back, you feel the poison hit. And now you are considered poisoned.
Attack disadvantage on any ability check and attack rolls. Fantastic. And at this point, I try and speak in my head, Kirek, hurry the fuck up! Because I think that's how it works now.
It's pretty good. I like that. I like that.
The only response you get in your head is a "You fucking idiots."
And I don't have Dawnbringer, so I don't have Lesser Restoration.
Fucking hell.
Cheers, Timiel.
That is not the sword that we're fucking pissed about, alright?
At this point, you and Bothryd get to you enter the lighthouse and you see sort of all the things I've already described to the other two, but the broken cabinet, the corpse, another totally broken door. Beyond that, the broken chair, the other corpse, and you now hear a little bit of the ruckus coming further on.
I will call out Dargon. Ander.
Yeah, we're in here. Ander's just got to...
I move towards the source of faint light, I suppose, that I can see.
Okay. As you walk through that second room, make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He wouldn't know that, would he?
Yeah,
He wouldn't know.
also we didn't shout out.
He didn't warn him.
It's not so bad, that's a 17.
Yeah, so okay, you two feel that pressure plate just go underneath your foot and just sort of hold Bothryd back and step back as four crossbow bolts.
Trap there. My bad.
Thank you for letting us know. I will cast light on my shield, then I will look for any other surprises.
Okay, so make me a perception check, please.
Oh, that's 7.
7, so you don't see anything else. You now clearly see the pressure plate as you've already stood in it, but everything else is a mystery to you.
Andy, you're looking a little worse for wear. Should we get you out of it? This can wait.
I need healing. Can I feel like the poison seeping through me at this point?
Yeah, it's almost like burning in your veins.
And then I will say, only the sword can heal me fully, but it needs blood to do so. Oh no, I can only do it for necrotic damage, can't I? So I have to attack something. No, never mind then. But the original statement of only the sword can heal me fully still stands, but the other bit doesn't. And I'll leave that out there.
We'll use that as a last resort.
I'm going to... Have I got any of these? Nope.
So Bothryd is going to walk in rather confused, see Ander on the floor, and you can now, as you look at Ander, you can see sort of black veins standing out in his face, and Bothryd is just going to kneel down next to you and speak a word in a language that you now have no idea what it is, and you receive 6 points of healing back, which would be 3
So
for you.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to you?
I'm still poisoned. Treasure would always be the end of me. The chest.
Can I, like, looking at him, can I take a, seeing, like, the veins, do I assume that's any kind of ailment?
Make me a medicine check with advantage, please.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah, so you have seen this before. You've seen poison take effect, and you've seen it take effect in various ways. Sometimes it causes frothing in the mouth, but you've also seen other poisons that just properly darken the veins, and it just looks like it starts to decay the body, and you can now, as you look at Andy, you see that his flesh he's gone a bit of a pallid white with illness and sickness, struggling. I need you to take 1 point of poison damage, Ander.
Yep.
What is this, Kirek?
Seems to be some sort of poison. Seems to be poison. It's hard to know more without knowing the type of poison that he's been infected with.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing. I can't treat him. I've not got the spell necessary prepared.
I haven't got any potions either. What about anyone in the town? Or maybe the tobacco? Can anyone help?
At this point, thinking about it, there was books on the shelf that I haven't read yet, and there were potion vials smashed on the floor. From my memory, was the liquid inside dried up, or was it fresh spillage?
It was reasonably fresh. There was still liquid on the floor, but it was difficult to tell what that liquid was, bearing in mind multiple vials had been smashed on the floor.
Okay, so licking the floor probably won't help.
Probably doesn't kill you as well.
Well, if you're going to have a poison in your house, you're going to keep the antidote pretty clear, is what I was thinking. Pretty close, is what I was thinking. But if it's all mixed together, I don't end up growing.
How did this happen?
And tried to unlock that chest. Some spikes came out. I'm guessing it must have been that there was something on those spikes. Needless to say, I ain't going anywhere near that until we know more. Andy, you look like you're getting worse. Do you what? I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to take you outside. Let's get out of there.
Okay.
Right. I'll pick him up and take him outside. From here,
I'm just using all of my strength to keep hold of the sword. That's the only thing I can do.
From everything, or the little that we know of the town, do I know of anywhere that might be some sort of healer, or anywhere that I might want to take him? If not, I'm just going to take him to the Tabaxi.
So you've not visited anywhere that would indicate a healer of sorts. The only places you've really been are obviously the blacksmiths, the general shop, if you want to call it that, and the tavern, really, the Tabaxi, and then obviously the dock.
Cool, yeah. I'll tell you what, one quick look. Do I still see the ship in the port? Captain Swift's ship.
As you look at the sort of the dock area, you've been used to seeing 4 sets of sails, indicating 4 individual ships. There are now only 3.
And
you do not see the familiar sails of the Winter's Tale.
Alright.
Kirek, I'm going to take him to the Tabaxi, see if they can help. I haven't got anything.
Perhaps it's best to bring the Tabaxi to us, as opposed to drag Ander through the town.
I am carrying him. Literally.
Still, could cause a ruckus that we could pull up some attention that we might not necessarily want.
Alright. Fair point.
If you leave him here, and I'll keep him alive. Go get Candle.
Alright. I'll go now.
Andy, you take another point of poison damage.
Oh shit!
Kind of seeing his deterioration. I shall pop him up with a cure wounds. That's not good stuff. Uh, 9 points. That's what I rolled. So.
Reduced to
4 points.
Look, whilst Dargon is going, looking around, can I find any vials of poison or the broken vials that Ander mentioned, so that I could perhaps identify this poison?
Yeah, so you and
Or even
Bothryd
like
sort of drag Ander just inside the main door. As you turn around to the broken vials and that sort of broken cabinet, make me a investigation check or a medicine check. Yeah.
11.
So
Yes.
you can see vials that look like they may have held poison, or a familiar shape for sort of generic poison vials, if you like. But you can't really place a finger on whether they were. The liquid on the floor itself is just a whole mismatch of colours, and sort of part of it's dried, some of it's still damp. It's very difficult to discern what liquid has what properties, or which liquid has what properties. Sorry.
I'm running full pelt up to the tent of the guy we spoke to.
So at this point, you are sort of having to shoulder your way through the party, and everybody's just clearly enjoying themselves. There's almost a tripped out sense to people, like they're high on life. You just sort of showing people out, and you get this odd sort of fuck off. But eventually, you make your way through into the Tabaxi camp. Kirek, was there anything else you were doing before we get to that bit?
Yes. So if I can't find anything, I'm going to take out my dagger, which I still have, and I would like to place the dagger on the keyhole of the chest.
Okay, so you sort of turn to Bothryd and say, "Watch him," as you dart back around, dodging the trap, and you gently place the dagger. Make me a dexterity saving throw, please, with advantage.
Cool. Yeah, that's a 20.
Cool. So you manage to get it just right, and as the blade sort of just goes past into the locking mechanism, you hear a click, and these 6 sharp, very sharp spikes shoot out towards you, and you manage to step back in time to avoid them.
If any poisons stay on the dagger?
You don't see any poison on the dagger.
I'll take the dagger out then. I'll move back to Ander and swap him up a little bit more. 7. Into healing.
So 3 for me, yeah.
And you then take 4 points of poison damage.
Oh. What's that forward, 3 steps back? Should have checked the traps.
I'm going to actually reach out to one of my rings, my platinum rings. I'm going to put it in Anders' finger. Put the other one on my own hand, and then grabbing onto his hand that has the finger.
I am wearing gauntlets, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say this. So he's currently got these gauntlets of ogre strength on. So which one are you taking off to place the ring on? Say again?
Right hand.
as you
The
take
one
off,
that's holding the sword.
yeah, as you take off and you sort of loose the sword a little bit, and Andrew in his delirious state at this point actually lets you and take the gauntlet off. The hand that you now see is blackened. Blackened and withered slightly all the way up to the wrist. You can see sort of puncture marks where a couple of the spikes went in. Do you still wish to continue with the ring?
Yeah.
Okay, so you
While I'm doing that, can I kind of... Yeah, this is a quick glance, so it might not even be kind of like a check, because I'm focused on something else, but is this kind of darkness due to spike? Could do a poison, or something? Would I know if it's a poison?
I'm going to say make me a medicine check with disadvantage, please, as this is a very quick glance.
8.
8. So you can't really tell, to be honest, and you just sort of put it out of your mind for now. Jam the ring on, put the glove back on, put the sword back in his hand. Or are you putting the sword back in his hand?
Sure, yeah.
So you put the sword back in his hand, and his hand just sort of instinctively closes around the hilt.
It's his comfort blanket. And I will grab on to the hand that has has my ring and the hand that has his ring. And I'm going to cast Warding Bond.
Okay.
What the hell is that?
So you are going to kind of feel that your ring kind of expands and then just takes over your entire body, almost. Your AC goes up by 1.
Nice.
As go all your saving throws. But the most important thing is that you have resistance to all damage.
To all damage? Oh, now we're talking.
Holy crap.
Any damage that you take, or any damage that you receive, I also receive.
Oh.
Ah.
I do some. I do some stupid shit.
I've got 70.
Technical moment.
This is for. Yeah.
Technical moment, Dave. Your camera's frozen.
I have.
Yes. Yes.
Is that enthralled with this? So I get +1 to all of my saving throws as well, or just all of my throws?
+1 to AC,
All
+1
your
to saving throws.
And resistance to the damage.
Resistance.
There he is.
And I'll take whatever damage you take next time, unless I just go.
Cool. Dargon, at this point, you've barreled through the camp and you've sort of come up to the main tent. And that sort of lithe character comes up to you again. Back so soon. And in a hurry.
Yeah. Do you know anyone who can help someone who's poisoned?
Poisoned? Interesting.
It's not bloody interesting. Get on with it. Do you know anyone?
How now? Yes. You're one of your friends is poisoned, I can assume?
Yeah. Ander, the guy who was here before, he's been poisoned, and it's like taken over him. Come on, he hasn't got much time. Please.
Very well. Take me to him.
Can you help him?
Maybe. Take me to him.
Right, follow me. I ain't going slow either, so keep up.
And as you sprint off, you actually notice she keeps up with you effortlessly. There's a grace to her movement, like that of a jungle cat, just bounding along next to you. And you both get to the lighthouse, and she turns the corner to now find Ander looking very, very worse for wear. Bothryd sort of patting him on one hand as Kirek is there holding the other and clutching his holy symbol somewhat.
And has taken another.
Because of resistance, you take no poison damage that time, because it was a 1. She steps up. Oh yes, you do not look good, do you? How was the poison administered?
We're from these spikes on this chest in here.
Take me to them.
To the spikes?
Yes, in order to help your friend, we must first understand how.
Well, just go up to that chest. I think you try and open it, but they shoot out, so I don't know how you're going to get that without it hurting you.
I shall figure out a way. And she sort of dances off round the corner. Avoids the trap. And as you hear the thunk.
On the trap.
Yes, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
In this bit. And then you just hear this click.
Oh, there's another one down.
And about 5 minutes pass, and she comes back, and you can see she's got a small little vial herself, and it is filled with this clear, well, not filled, but there's a little bit of this clear liquid. It will take me some time to understand this, but bring him to camp. We can stabilize him there.
Alright. And I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to take you with you. You still here?
Okay. Yeah, just about.
Alright.
I cradle him.
I think it's best that we block the doors somehow, lest any would-be looters fall prey to a similar fate. Don't you?
Yeah, Kirek, Bothryd, can you sort that out while I take him?
Don't worry.
Thank you.
No.
Cool. And she now sort of walks with you, Dargon, sort of looking at the liquid itself, and leads you back, not to the central tent, but sort of one just off to the side. And as you both go in here, even in your sort of slightly delirious state, and there is the smell of just sort of oils being burned. It smells like a new age mess, to be honest. There's all sorts of like incense, sage, and various herbs that have been sort of burned. And there is an older, sort of hunched over tabaxi stood, who turns. What is it? What is it? One of the locals is poisoned. I have the poison. Can you stabilize him while I work on the cure? I should think so. Lay him down, big chap.
I lay him down on... Why is there like a bed on the floor or something?
There is a bed in the middle of the room, basically.
I would actually not help Bothryd because I need to stay within 60 feet of him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you turn and sort of explain that to Bothryd, and Bothryd just waves you off as he starts picking pieces up and sort of creating somewhat of a barricade. And Bothryd himself actually plonks himself in front of the door and sits there. Takes the mace, places it over his lap.
But yeah, I just enter the tent.
Okay, so you follow in shortly after, warding bond still up.
So I get out of the way of the old lady to see if she can help out. Turn to the other.
Not necessarily an old lady. I know my elderly voice was a bit shit, but cool.
But I then turned to the other one and was like,
I'm sorry, I lost me manners. What's your name?
My name? Surely that is not the most important piece right now.
Alright. Hope you can help him out.
If you must know, my name is Glove. Tell me. There is magic upon him, is it not?
Poison.
Yes. Not just the poison. There is magic on him.
He has got some magical powers within him, yes.
Amateurs. And
then at this point, can I understand what he is saying?
You are still
I'm able to respond, so I can just go touched by the Fae, and then go back to sort of the woozy state.
Yes, Fae touched. Interesting sword. You, cleric. You have cast some healing on him?
Yes, simply to keep him afloat, and I created a bond between us, so that whatever damage he takes will be split between the two of us.
Yes, seems to be helping. I can keep him stable for some time, but we must have the cure. There is little else you can do. I suggest you wait outside.
Is the first sort of woman starting to work on?
She has exited the tent.
Okay.
How long do you think this will take?
That very much depends on our young herbalist and whether she can find the cure.
Is there anything we can do to help her?
Stay out of her way.
I'm pretty good at that.
So
And I'm getting there, right?
I shall try.
I leave the tent looking pretty flustered.
Cool.
Can I ask the sword in my head why it won't heal me?
This is beyond my talents. Foolishness on your part. To give, I must take.
Understood.
And at this point, the elder Tabaxi is sort of putting wet cloths on your head and burning various herbs, and then just sort of opens your mouth and stuffs in this wadge of just leaves and weeds, and it tastes god awful. Now, don't you be swallowing that.
So I'm ball gagged, is what you're saying at this point.
Effectively.
With moss.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I exit the tent with Dargon.
So the two of you, this party is still ongoing, and you see the rest of the town enjoying themselves, and hours pass as you sort of both wait nervously.
I got
Bothryd,
my pipe out,
still not
lit, and smoking it really heavily.
Bothryd hasn't returned, and the two of you sort of just sat nervously. I'm going to assume in relative silence as you ponder about the fate of your ally.
Was they what Bothryd? You what's he doing? Do you know?
Bothryd was left to board up the lighthouse. So
I hope he hasn't been got by any of those traps. He should be back by now.
I believe last I saw him, he was just sitting in front of the lighthouse so no one could get in. And I think we ought to go back and at some point.
All right.
I can't really send him a message anymore today because I'm keeping this in my ability free in case this Ender passes. I can bring him back.
All right. I'm sure he's a big lad. I'm sure he can handle himself.
Sure you can.
Yeah. Just then, sit in silence and sort of sometimes sitting, sometimes pacing.
And the smoke from your pipe begins to sort of meld with the smoke from the fire. And despite the party, there is a great distance between you and the revelers. They sort of see your state and don't want to dampen their vibe, so they're going to continue the party in the corner. And eventually, it begins to die down as we sort of enter into the night. And another tabaxi brings you some sort of food and drink. Just sort of nods slightly at you, and then turns and disappears back. And you hear the odd groan of pain from Ander, who is stable at this point. The poison has been held for now. And we begin to approach midnight, and the elder tabaxi steps out. She needs to hurry, otherwise I'm afraid your friend will not last through the night.
Do you want me to go see how she's doing? Which way is she?
There is nothing we can do to hurry her along. She is...
Bloody hell.
Your frustrations are noted, but they will not help your friend.
How long can you keep him stable for?
Another couple of hours at most. The poison is strong.
Do you think that if you were to... if the poison were to take him down, it would... and he were to be brought back, the poison would lose its effect?
Potentially? You wish him to die?
It's a theoretical question.
Don't you have any weird and wacky ideas, Kirek? You keep him alive.
Well, like going to the lighthouse on your own? And just throw a glance.
Oh, it's throwing shade now.
Smart.
Kirek's pissed. Kirek's pissed.
Dargon, you can feel the anger and the venom in that comment.
Alright. Good point. So he just try to help Ander. Idiot.
He sort of says like he's talking to himself.
And the elder tabaxi turns back to Kirek. What is dead should stay dead. You would do well to remember that.
Very well, in that case, I think I will turn to Dargon and say, "There's not much we can do. I need to, if I sleep and wake up back up, I can have something prepared that might help a bit more than what I have right now."
You you wanna put your head down here? Or wait you off if anything happens? Or do you wanna head back anywhere else? I'm staying here.
Probably best to stay here in this case. Perhaps one of us should tell Bothryd this as well.
Alright.
Okay. In that case, okay, a couple of things to do. I'm going to cast Sending to Bothryd. Yes. I'm going to cast Sending to Bothryd. And I shall say, I am sorry we didn't come back. Anda is still down. We are by the camp, resting. Are you okay? You can reply, stay safe.
And as the message sends, you hear a muffled shout, and then a vine shoots into the sky. And then you hear a very nervy, okay. Food brought here. Strange magic. I guard door? Okay. I'm done now. Is this how the magic? And then it cuts off.
Nice. Cool. Then I walk into the tent where Ender is. What's the state?
So the veins now are almost pure black and standing out. His skin's looking very sunken and sallow. Very, very pale. Sweat beading on his forehead. Breath coming quite ragged. Despite this huge grate, you can just see these sort of this moss and weeds just sticking out. His eyes are closed. He's not looking in a good state. Your aura is, however, and you can feel the warding bond. Sorry, you can feel that keeping things at bay, at least, combined with the skills of the healer in here.
It lasts an hour.
It lasts an hour. Okay, so that's gone. At which point, I need Ander to take 2 points of poison damage, please, because they were the 2 ones that I rolled.
It took me ages to put them effects on, but take them all off now. How many? 2 did you say?
2, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out to Anders' head. I'm going to reach out into my bag, and I'll take out a feather of a raven.
Mm-hmm.
Place it on his forehead. I'm going to grab my holy symbol, and I will say, I know that it's a big ask, especially due to recent times, but I believe if you could protect this one, there is much good to come from him yet. And with that, I will cast Death Ward on Ander, which means that when he drops to 0 hit points as a result of taking damage, he instead is going to drop to 1 hit point. That's done. And then I shall. Sorry, I'm just going to burn all my slots right now.
I've got spell slots to burn. I can do fuck all.
Where's the other one that I need? I think it's the little spell slots. I can't do it. It's fine. I'm just going to burn the rest of my spell slots casting Cure Wounds on it.
Okay.
So, 4th level.
Has Ander let go of the sword? Has the lady taken the sword out of his hand?
Where he is laid on the bed, Kirek would see this. The sword is still in his hand and his sort of arms are down by his side.
So, I'm just going to do these all at the same time. Might go up to full health.
Not if you half it afterwards.
That's fair. Sword. You gain. Nice, 69 points of health.
So then if I half that, we're looking at
34.
34.
Or
Yeah.
how many spells did you cast there? How many times did you cast that spell?
Oh, Jesus. I cast it once at 4th level. I cast it twice at 2nd. I cast it twice at 1st.
So 5.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. You take 41 points of poison damage.
You take 13 points of poison damage.
Oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
What are you on now?
If I'm on 28, does that at least allow me to kind of sit up?
So while your health itself, or while your hit points are coming back, the effects of the poison are still ravaging your body. So
Right, okay.
as this sort of boatload of healing does come in, and Kirek, despite the effort, you still feel something not quite taking. Your eyes flicker open, and you're just in a delirious state still. The poison affecting more than just your constitution.
You're currently pretty
Right,
healthy, but like you've had 2 bottles of whiskey.
Yeah.
Straight in the last 5 minutes.
At this point I'll take the raven feather back. Does the blackness seem to spread?
Yes.
Again, quick glance.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Also, at this point I will come out. Death ward lasts 8 hours, so it should be the whole rest.
Yep.
And I will come out of the tent and turn to Dargon and say, I've done all I can for now. I will keep him. Hopefully, that will keep him up and stable. We need to rest now.
You've done a great job, Kirek. Thank you. Couldn't have done this without you.
No worries.
And with the exertion of casting that many spells or that amount of spell in such a short space of time, you can see the weariness in Kirek's face and the way he holds himself. He is dog tired at this point. The sheer effort to channel that amount of energy has been a chore.
You go to sleep, Kirek. I'll look out.
Anything happens, wake me up.
Will do.
I know it's quite a ways off, and I know that it was only just, we were only just able to see that sort of vine. I am listening for anything over near Bothryd, as well as obviously anything that's going on here. I'm keeping that eye out and ear out.
And as we get to the early hours of the morning, the party itself has very much died down. There are a few tabaxi milling about. The town itself is pretty quiet, sleeping. The tabaxi that are milling about, a couple of them sort of go in and out of the tent where Ander is. One goes into the main tent every now and again, and you see the female tabaxi, the herbalist. She comes out, goes to a different tent. Punch the mic. Comes out arms filled with various vials and herbs and stuff, and goes back into a different tent. And then you see one of the...
I'm fighting my age. I said I was going to stay here, which I want to. I also then want to go and... Because now I've seen her, I want to follow her, but I'm staying put.
And at this point, one of the tabaxi does seat himself in front of that tent, just on a makeshift chair that they've made out of tree stump, and just sits and sort of keeps his vigil there, watching. His eyes meet yours for a minute, Dargon, and you get that sort of sense of, don't bother. I'm going to take a short bathroom break.
Okay. Spell time. Lesser restoration.
It's spell time.
Yeah. And we're back.
Excellent. So, Kirek, you sort of... I'm assuming you're kipping where you are, sort of in the camp.
Yep.
Cool. So, the tabaxi almost sense your wishes somehow, and they can see you sort of starting to bed down, and they bring you blankets, a sort of a makeshift pillow, and just things to make yourself comfortable. And they also stoke the fire up in the middle of the camp to make sure it keeps burning, to give you warmth during the night. It's early hours of the morning now. We're probably talking about 1 o'clock, half 12, 1 o'clock. So it is the next day. It doesn't take you long to fall asleep based on the exertion you've just gone through. As you enter asleep, your dreams are not plagued, but muddled. There are raven's feathers. You see the faces of your companions, Dargon and Bothryd. You see the face of the Eladrin. You see golden light. And then you also see graveyards. And what you actually see as this dream begins to sort of play out towards its finality is an endless graveyard that just stretches as far as you can see, tombstone after tombstone after tombstone. And then you enter that sort of total silent sleep. And even in the blackness, there is some part of you that is still aware. And there is a whisper. And that whisper is almost like the tabaxi's voice, the older tabaxi. What is dead should stay dead. And then a laugh. A woman's laugh. And that is your dream. That is your sleep. Dargon, you notice Ander bit fitful in his sleep, bit restless. Probably about an hour and a half later, the elder tabaxi comes out. I've done all I can for him now. It is in the hands of the gods, and hopefully our herbalist. And you take 3 points of poison damage. Probably another half an hour passes while Kirek is still sort of rolling around in this fitful sleep. And the herbalist comes out. I think I have it.
Oh, good. Good.
A warning. This is a potent poison. This is a manufactured poison. I have seen natural poisons before. This one is far, far worse. Not just the chemicals and the herbs, but the magic imbued inside it. I can only hope to reverse the physical effects. The magical, well, let's just hope they burn out once we draw the poison. Whatever you hear, do not interfere. And she enters the tent. The older herbalist stays outside. This one is for her to deal with. And Andy, you're sort of aware, sort of not aware now of the tabaxi around you. It's almost that sort of, is it real, is it not real? You're struggling to now discern reality from dream state. And your visions are now just racked with the Eladrin, his face laughing, the sword speaking to you. Images of yourself plunging this sword into your friends. Images of your friends and you sharing good times, hugging, eating together, drinking together. You and Dargon first meeting. When you all first met. And you see Dawncaller, you see Treebor. You're taken back to the well in Greenflower. It's almost as if recent events just flash before you. And then you feel the wadge of herbs and weeds and stuff taken out of your mouth, and you feel a burning liquid poured down your throat. And there is the most intense pain as this feels like fire burning throughout your body. And Dargon, from outside, you just hear an ear-piercing scream. Not just a yell of a man in pain, but it is almost like a death wail. It almost sounds like that of a banshee.
I step forward instinctively towards the tent before remembering that I shouldn't go inside.
And as you step forward, a hand grabs you on the shoulder, and there's more strength to this hand than you would have thought, as the elderly tabaxi holds you back slightly. And you can feel the claws sort of pressing into your shoulder, even through, or just sort of around through the chainmail armour. Because it is chainmail armour, I think you're wearing.
Sort of chainmail and plate is sort of a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I know, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm no good at standing by while people are hurting.
Let us have patience.
Something I've yet to receive.
I go back to sort of pacing so that I start looking into the tent.
Are you a holy man?
Yeah.
Might I suggest now would be the time to pray?
Maybe you're right. Shake me awake if anything happens. I'm going to go a little bit away.
I go about 20-30 feet away just so that the screams aren't so intense. And I point towards where I think the sun will rise. Or even if there's a hint of it rising already or whatever.
Not just yet, but you sort of... You know where sort of east and west are, and you manage to orientate yourself accordingly.
So I will kneel down.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my notes. I'll close my eyes and put my hand to my chest. Seem to be getting used to doing that now. And and I will pray.
Is there anything in particular you're going to say? Or are you just going to silently pray?
For the beginning bit is sort of a silent prayer, just trying to get rid of the trying to calm myself for the all the screams and stuff that I'm hearing, and then it is the Dawn Father, right? Isn't it?
It is the Dawn Father.
Finally, once I've calmed myself,
Dawn Father, I hope you can hear me. I'm on this quest, and I fight in your name, but one of my dearest friends is in dire need at the moment. He needs help. I'm not used to this. I'm used to fighting and protecting my friends, but I can't protect him from within. I can't. And I wish I could. I feel lost without my sword. I feel like Dawnbringer could have helped, as she has so many times. I hope now you hear me. And I hope it is now that I need the sword. Please, in whatever way you can, help us now. You know I fight in your name.
And sort of midway through this prayer, despite the words, your mind is taken back to the mountain. Back to your charge down the mountain. To when you realise you were too late. And your sprint back up, your journey back up to your home to see it ravaged. To see the temple looted. To see your comrades, your family dead. And that moment before you entered the blind rage and cut swathes through the attackers. And as that image flashes, you do feel a warmth and a whisper. Be still. Be calm. Trust in others. And that is all you get.
that sort of rage flowed through me for a bit and then calmed as I felt like the sun was on me, and I accept that, and I realise how useful Kirek and Bothryd and these people around have been. My frustration for not being able to do anything is waning, and I open my eyes and walk back to the tent.
Cool. And the screams are still ongoing. Andrew, at this point, you see nothing but just blinding white light, and you just feel this intense burning pain, literally like you are being burned alive from the inside. You take 4 points of psychic damage from the mental effects.
Yep.
The poison, however, seems to be fading. The effects, the delirium is waning, and you are left with that burning sensation as you curl yourself up, and the sword hilt itself sort of butts into your chin, and you don't cut yourself on the blade, and it sort of awkwardly sticks out the side of as you curl up into this fetal position and just scream yourself hoarse, and eventually the screams turn to sobs as the pain just overwhelms you. And these screams last for an hour, 2 hours. Kirek, somehow you manage to restlessly sleep through it, the exhaustion just taking over you. But somewhere in those dreams, those visions, there is a distant scream from somewhere. Then the endless graveyard, then the laughter, the whisper again. What is dead should stay dead. And then the screams turn to sobs. Things begin to quiet. The herbalist steps out, and she herself looks visibly shaken. Her eyes wide, forehead damp. I think we have it. You should be with him now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And she walks over to the fire, she sits down next to it, and just sort of slumps. Deep, shaky, shuddering breath comes out.
Am I awake?
At this point, no, you're still sleeping unless Dargon wishes to wake you.
If I wake him, has he had a long rest?
I will say for the sake of it, yes.
Yeah. So I take sort of one step towards the tent. I remember what I was told in my head. First of all, I go back to the healer. She's in front of me, her back to me, and I just place my hand gently on her shoulder. Thank you again. Thank you.
And she just sits and she stares at the fire and sort of nods, and another deep shuddering breath.
I take my hand away and I go and gently wake up Kirek.
Immediately wake up. Get up. Look at Dargon's face. And does he seem relieved? Does he seem solemn?
He's solemn. He looks a little relieved. I'm presuming he also has a point of exhaustion at this point, so he looks fucking tired.
Yeah, I would say Dargon definitely looks tired. There is both anxiety and relief in his face and his demeanour. There is a strange sense of calm, though, underlying there somewhere. If I may be so bold as the DM.
Yeah.
Get 18 passive insight, so.
Kirek, the healer says we can go see him now. Sounds like he's over the other side of this thing. Let's go see.
Let's go then. Barge in.
So I
As you
sort of more abruptly now I've woken them up, or go in and see him.
And as you go in, Ander is quiet at this point now. Shaky breaths as he rests, and you see him in the fetal position, sort of clutching the sword to him. His eyes closed, body covered in sweat. However, you also notice at this point the elderly Tabaxi had removed the majority of his armor cloaks, left him in sort of his basic clothing for modesty more than anything. You can see the discarded sort of herbs and poultices, if you want to call it a poultice, just that sort of knot of weeds and mess. And you also see just a discarded vial of red liquid. Sort of just a couple of drops of red liquid just on the side near the bed.
So we
plenty of used rags and sort of bits of cloth that have clearly been used to try and help with the fever and just the heat coming off of Anders' body. Carry on, Dargon.
We previously saw the darkened veins, him looking very gaunt and stuff, so how does he look now compared to that?
As you now look, his skin is red. Like there is a glow to him, if you like. The black veins have receded, but you can feel his body radiating heat as well as you step closer and sort of look at him. Clearly burning off something. Almost like you do when you have a crap ton of drink and your body your temperature just rises, or at least mine does.
Yeah, mine does too.
And you can see sort of the tracks under his eyes where there's been evidence of tears.
Is he awake?
No.
I'm amazed you were able to sleep, Kirek, although I'm pleased you did. Because Andy was screaming and crying out and sobbing. Bloody hell.
I heard something in my dreams. Distant scream.
I'm not surprised. What can we do for him, or do we leave him to see if this has worked? And that's a stupid question because we couldn't do anything yesterday. You can't bloody do anything today.
Well, that's not entirely true. Does he seems like he's healing, right?
Make me... I'm going to say make me a perception check.
Yeah. 17.
So you can certainly get the feeling that the poison itself, or the effects of the poison, the physical effects of the poison, no longer seem to be taking effect. But something else now is certainly racking his body.
Right, so the healer said there was magic in the poison, or that there was a hint that there might be magic in it. Is that right? She did say that? I'm not, hallucinating?
Yes, but Kirek was asleep.
Yeah, no.
I think.
Yeah. However, I wasn't. And I cast Detect Magic.
Okay. As your visions sort of changes, and you focus on Ander, the most obvious thing to you is around the sword. There is black followed by gold. It sort of flows around the sword. And then on Ander's right hand, that is wreathed in this black oily aura. The rest of his body there is a faint touch of green.
Kirek, the healer said that it wasn't just normal poison, that it had it might have been manufactured, made, mutated or something, and also that it wasn't just poison, but it was magic as well. And I've just I can sense it's more than that. It looks like the where it entered his hand, that's where it looks the worst. There's a necromantic feel of what's on his hand, but doesn't seem like it managed to change too much, because the rest of it just seems like it's there's a green aura coming off it. Something's weird by it.
No.
It's like it's enchanted somehow.
Very well. I can try and end that effect, but I'm going to need some guidance.
Yeah. Alright.
What's the type of magic that I'm looking for?
You're looking for enchantment magic. That's the stuff. So he's green around the rest of his body, yeah?
Yeah.
Or do you want to go for
magic?
We got the enchantment magic, and his arm looks the worst. What?
But let's try both. But okay, I'm going to again grab onto my holy symbol. I'm going to focus my energy on identifying this. Or touching this enchantment magic, and I am going to cast the spell magic.
As you cast Dispel Magic, and Dargon, you witnessing this, see the spell leave Kirek's hand, and
So that's the 4th level.
4th level?
Yeah.
So you see this white glow leave Kirek's hand and wash over Ander. As it washes over, the white turns to nothingness as it tries to bleed away the rest of the magic. But then you see it sort of just dissipate. Kirek, in your mind, you hear again, seems to be a whisper night tonight, a whisper. Do not seek to remove that which I have gifted him.
Is this the Queen? Or is it someone else? The Raven Queen. Or is it someone else?
It is not a voice, and the few times you have been able to hear the Raven Queen, does not sound like her voice.
So I only saw the green around the rest of his body. There was nothing else throughout his body that would no other colours anyway.
Only the black on his hand, and then the black and gold, or the black, so the black and gold on the sword.
Yeah. He was got in both hands, right? With the spikes.
Say again? Yes.
He was, yeah. So with both spikes got in the hands, is it only one hand that looks black?
Yes. His right hand specifically.
Yeah. Gotta check.
What happened, Kirek? That didn't seem to work.
Well, there was a voice saying for me to not remove what was given to Ander. There seems to be someone else at work here. I've never heard it, so it wasn't the Eladrin or anything.
Do you have to pick what magic you dispel, or is it just all of it?
Any spell technically any spell level 4th or lower would get. So
okay, so would it
I would say
would this
type.
do one at a time, or was it that you do pick, or would it do all of them at once? Because there's like one spell to counter 20 would be quite impressive, wouldn't it?
It seems to be any spell, yeah.
Yeah.
So any spell, you automatically end the effects of a spell on the target if the spell's level is equal to or less than the level of the spell slot you used.
So that would
So
have,
if there's
that
anything
would have sort of
4th level
attacked-
or
yeah,
below,
that would have attacked the necromantic magic on his arm as well. Then, so but fuck all happened.
Well, I didn't help.
now in that moment, as the
Nice.
spell continues, I need you to make your spellcasting ability check, please. Which I believe is Wisdom.
Yeah, so I'll get +5. Oh dear. That is 22.
Nice.
Your Dispel Magic spell, and Dargon, you see this. The white washes over the body and then zones in on the hand. And Kirek, you feel a resistance, and you fight with this, and eventually you manage to push your spell, even though it is an anti-spell, into Ander's hand. Dargon, as you look now on Ander's body, the green is still there, the black and gold of the sword is there. The hand, however, is now not so clearly black, but more of a grey, very light grey.
Well, that
I'm going
seemed
to
to
pause
have,
you two there. And having spent most of this episode in relative silence.
And we thought it was going to be Kirek that was going to be the one that was going to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Must check for traps.
The pain begins to subside, and you are not quite asleep, but sort of not quite trapped in your mind, but you've sort of retreated into your own mind. And you hear the familiar voice. Your friends are troublesome. He may have protected you this time. Do not seek to toy with me again, or it will be more than your hand I take. We are bonded, you and I. can give if you allow me to take. And in your mind, you are free to act, free to speak, as you now see yourself with the sword in hand, looking down at the sword itself.
So, I actually kind of have the free will at this point. I'm kind of self-aware of what's happening with the sword.
Absolutely.
So me being myself again, and him saying my friends are troublesome.
By the way, do you want
My
this
friends-
on or off headphones, by the way?
No, you guys can stay on headphones for this one.
That's fine. Just checking.
My friends are the reason I am alive today. I've told you once, I will not betray them, and that is still the case. They have earned my trust and my loyalty.
You are a pain. Never did I ask you to betray them. Only to feed me. Feed me, Ander, or I shall feast on you. And when I am finished, I shall feast on your friends.
At this point, if I am still self-aware, so I'm in my head, but can I?
You are in your mind.
Can I work my body? I don't mean like, can I work my body? I mean like, can I move my arms and legs and shit?
Well, okay. What do you want to do?
I want to try and throw the sword away.
Okay, so in your mind, make me a wisdom check, please. I'm going to make this a wisdom saving throw.
Plus zeros all round. 12.
So in your mind, you chuck the sword, and it sort of skitters onto the darkness, the floor of whatever darkness you're in around you. Dargon and Kirek off screen, you see Anders' hands twitch as his left hand sort of drops from the sword, and then his right hand sort of spasms, and the sword doesn't fly across him, it just sort of slips out of his grasp and just slides on the bed somewhat. Back in your mind, Ander. Oh, it's so easy, Ander. You let me in. And the sword is now back in your hand.
In my mind.
In your mind.
But I'm still self-aware. I'm not overtaken again.
Yep. You've never been overtaken as such. You've just probably
You know
given
what I
into
mean.
the urges.
Yeah. I've got a bit more willpower at the minute.
Absolutely.
Okay. What must I do to end this wretched curse?
You can die.
Well, I'm with that in my own head, because I don't know I'm in my own head, do I? Really? Do I know I'm in my own head? Or am I...
You can sort of assume that you're not in your body, and you've sort of... You get the feeling... You know where you were. This is not where you were. You can assume that you're having some sort of out-of-body experience.
Astral? Yeah, okay. With that, then, I'll samurai suicide myself with a sword.
Okay. She got real.
Oh, shite. I need to get the popcorn for this.
You turn the blade inward and slide it through your own heart. You then take oh shit, maths. $36 points of psychic damage.
Jesus wept.
I'm on 21 hit points at the minute.
Was that before the damage?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm fucking dead. In my head,
As you
my real
pierce-
life.
As you pierce your own heart in your mind, you just hear a fading and everything goes black. In the room, you see, so Dargon and Kirek, you now see Anders' body twitch. The sword falls from the table, and you just hear the as Ander breathes no more.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is Death Ward still in effect?
No. Because you cast Dispel Magic.
Yeah.
Only lasted an hour anyway, didn't it?
No, that was 8
No,
hours.
it's 8
There
hours.
was another thing that was
8
1 hour.
hours.
8 hours.
Ooh.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's very bad.
You now see.
Is he dead? Do I feel that he's dead?
Is he unconscious or dead? Is it?
So you see the body of Ander go limp, the sword fall from his grasp, land on the floor, and blood begin to drip or trickle out of his mouth and also out of his ears. And as this happens, you see the blood rise up into the air and float. And there is now sort of drop, drop, drop. And a stream now of blood begins to flow towards the blade.
I will immediately run around, put my hand on the sword, and cast Remove Curse. I've had that spell prepared for 3 weeks now. Fucking hell.
Dargon, you see Kirek almost launch himself over Anders' body, slam his hand onto the sword, and this golden glow, well, this sort of dark glow. And you fight with it for a minute, Kirek. You feel the extra power of the sword, but it having not had enough time to do what it was trying to do. There is stillness. The blood drops. Drop to the floor. The red ruby-like gem in the blade darkens, cracks. And the blade itself, where it was once black, sort of shimmers a little bit and returns to a normal steel blade.
I look at Ander.
Being a grave cleric, you have something of an innate sense of death. Your friend is gone.
I quickly rummage through my bag. I pick up the big diamond that Anders just given me previous day.
Biggest fucking diamond in the world.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
I look at Dargon, I kind of give him a look, and I will place the diamond kind of on Anders' chest, kind of point down, almost like carving the diamond into his body. I will reach out to my other symbol. I'll say, hey, I know that I watched the line, but he has crossed it before his time came. So, yeah. If he has a bigger purpose, now's the time, and I will cast Revivify. As the diamond kind of gets consumed by Anders' body.
You do see the sort of the diamond sink in. And you reach out to the Raven Queen. And you feel her presence. And in your mind, the question, what more is offered in this exchange? I'm going to take a leaf straight out of Matt Mercer's playbook. Who else is offering anything to this ritual?
Do I look like Iron Man at this point with like a big fucking...
yeah, well,
just blood.
What I was going to say is as you bring the diamond out of your pocket, you had a look at me, so I would have nodded, sort of pulled his clothes open so that you could do this revivify, and then I'm holding Anders' hand, the one that was blackened. Is it still blackened?
It's in the gauntlet. Well, in fact, no, it's not in the gauntlet, is it?
No,
She
I'm
took
just in
towards
the
it,
long
so-
johns at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the hand itself is pale, is withered slightly, but is no longer blackened.
So I am holding that hand, and I'm sort of holding his arm as well. He's sort of, with two massive hands. And I also, not necessarily sort of praying, not praying, just, so just thinking of the Dawnfather and just going, let this work. Bring him back. Please.
Okay. Make me a religion check, please.
Yeah, I can't find my dice. There it is. Let's move that out of the way. That's cocked because I've got it all in the wrong place. That is a 14.
Okay. Kirek, make me a wisdom check, please. Spellcasting check.
Oh, 23.
Okay. That presence of the Raven Queen, I see, is not just I who has a say here. The final decision rests with him. You have done what you can, my student.
The moment I
Do
take
not
my
seek.
hands off the
Okay.
moment I take my hands off the diamond and just look at Dargon.
And as you take your hand off the diamond, her final parting words, do not seek to cheat the balance too often. Dargon, at this point, you feel the warmth in your symbol. And some of that warmth travels down your arm and into Anders' hand. However, there is no voice for you. Instead, Ander, you now find yourself floating sort of face up. And it feels like you're in a river of sorts. And you look up. And as you look up, you see a familiar sight of a huge green, huge oak tree, green leaves, sunlight sort of sparkling through. And a familiar voice. Are you in need of me now?
More than ever.
You only ever had to ask. And the branches of the tree reach down towards you. They lift you out of what you now understand to be a stream, and they lift your body up, and you find yourself lifted towards that sunlight. And then your eyes open. Kirek, Dargon, you see before you the eyes of Ander flash open, that breath taken in. As Ander, you now look around and you can feel the sweat, just total sort of, almost like you've pissed yourself, dampness. You don't feel the sword in your hand, and your mind feels freer than it did before. Now remind me, Revivify brings them back to 1 hit point? 1 hit point. Your body feels battered. You have been through an ordeal.
And you're back. I'm looking over at Kirek. Did it work? Is he back?
And then I kind of mutter, am I free? And I kind of hold up my gammy hand.
Yeah, let go, and
as you let go, the hand itself has regained its former structure, former life. There is no blackness, there is no withering. You no longer feel a weight on your mind and a weight on your heart, so to speak, to perform certain actions.
Free? Yeah. We got rid of the poison.
Am I free of the sword?
Oh.
Yes.
And then I'm kind of... And then
I just grab the sword behind me, show the like black and ruby.
And then with that, I try, because Dargon's hand was just in mine, then I try to pull him in, and then I reach out for Kirek. You have to forgive me, and then I try and pull them in for a kind of embrace almost, because I'm so fucking relieved that I'm not dead, and B, I don't have to be a murder hobo now.
Hey. Kirek's gonna like
willingly go into that.
Oh, and you fool. I'm glad you're back. Let's not make a habit of that, if you don't mind.
Yes. Let's not.
Just one more question. Why am I in my pants?
Oh well, while you were out, Nah, I'm only joking. You were sweating. You were sweating buckets, mate. This Tabaxi lot, They helped you out. They helped you out a lot. We definitely owe them your life.
I feel I owe many a great debt after this night.
Check.
And obviously I'm just fucked, so I'm just like...
4 traps. And if you pick up another sword that talks to you, I'm going to hit you around the head with it.
And I kind of look to both. I kind of looked at both of them, and I say, and no wandering off, please. This time with not so aggressive as last time.
Yeah.
Don't expect me to change overnight, Kirek.
As you sort of chuckle amongst the three of you, the flap of the tent lifts up, and a hobgoblin face peeks in.
Bothryd, come.
Is he okay?
Yeah, it was touch and go, but come on, give him a big bear hug. Don't squeeze too tight, you might pass out again though.
I'll squeeze too tight. Yeah.
So at this point, I'm going to start pulling out a health potion. Rummaging through sort of a little, sort of excited, bewildered to pull it out. And because you look like shit, Ander. And
I feel worse. I'm just so glad I didn't have to kill any of you.
We're glad as well.
I pass in a superior potion of healing.
Ooh, I get to take all of it this time. This will be a nice treat.
Go on then,
Lovely.
you roll it. It's 8d4 plus 8.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
8d4 plus 8.
I have 2 of them
Come
left,
on then.
and I also have a supreme left. 1 supreme left. But as we're not in battle, he's not fucking having it.
Healing.
What are you back to?
So I'm on 24 points now.
Nice.
Ooh.
You mute.
And then with that, oh no, I'm a sweaty mess, aren't I? But I've literally removed all my equipment, so I am got a shit armor class, shit strength, and everything at the minute. So would I want to just? I'd probably just want to sleep, wouldn't I? I'm not going to be bothered about sticking my trousers on at the minute. I'm just going to want to rest.
So if I understand correctly, I have a point of exhaustion at the moment.
So
Yeah,
that's what I was just about to get to. So Dargon has a point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
And you too have a point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Bothryd, however,
no longer poisoned.
looks like he's fresh as a fucking daisy.
Why did he sleep?
Apparently so.
So
Yeah, to be fair, no one's going to bother a hobgoblin sitting in front of a lighthouse door. To be fair, no one's seen one around for a while.
He probably turned into a bear.
I'm
and
gonna-
went to sleep,
Yeah,
didn't he?
that's a very good point, actually. Yeah, or a spider just sat there.
I'll say to both Dargon and Ander, seems like you both could use some sleep.
Really could. Yeah.
You
By the
both
way,
rest.
Kirek, what? I probably am too tired to remember what you were about to say, but what did you do to that sword? Because, well, it looks different now.
I pushed its influence away.
Will it come back?
I would be surprised if it doesn't.
Is it worth us taking it to the blacksmith and having him melt that fucking thing down? I don't care where we can get some money for it, just get rid of it.
I'm not sure I'm willing to partake of this to any common blacksmith. I think it needs to be to be somewhere special. Iron Forge would be ideal, but maybe we can find a way to send it to Mael. For now, I think we should keep it safe. Perhaps in the bag of holding.
Not a bad shout. Yeah, put it in the bag of holding, and then maybe we can look at it when we get back to the keep and see if there's any way that we can get it back to Timael. I like that idea. Good one.
Or if we don't want to risk Iron Forge, maybe the Malt Masters will know what to do with it.
I say, hopefully they'll see it first, but if we can get it back to Timael after that, if we have to, we'll find a way.
We've seen the damage of the sword, so
yeah,
to just give it away seems like a bad idea.
Is there any? Yeah, if we can just find some cloth or something. I wrap the sword in some cloth, some wrappings, before we put it in the bag of holding.
Yeah, so there's various bits of cloth just thrown around the floor. You just grab one of them, wrap it, and then very carefully just drop it in the bag of holding.
Hang on a moment. Has this been 10 minutes since we walked in? Like, less than 10 minutes?
Yeah. No, absolutely more than 10 minutes.
Okay, since the sword was dispelled, sorry. Would I have noticed?
I think over the course of time, yes.
Because
you're on about detect magic, yeah?
Detect magic as I came in. Then... Oh, yeah, we did Revivify? I
was going to say, you've done Revivify, Anders come back from the dead.
No, okay, yeah, but it was
there's
Revivify.
Been a lot that's gone on.
No, it was Revivify was after you dispelled the sword. Yeah? I'm just saying,
yes.
So when that was dispelled, I would have still had Detect Magic up. What did I see?
On what?
On the sword.
The same as previous, so... sorry, not the same as previous. So actually you see...
Because it was the curse that was removed, so would I have noticed...
You still see a faint golden glow to it.
Okay.
Less so black now.
Alright, okay. So I do actually still think it's magical. I would have.
So in that time, you would have seen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yes, I would then agree with Kirek that it needs to have further, better minds look at it.
Now, whether Dargon would have thought of that during the heat of all that,
I'll be after he sleeps.
We'll take it. Yeah. Well, we'll take it as he comes back to it later on.
Yeah.
So. Reunited as a foursome in the middle of a tabaxi tent. What are we doing?
I turned to Bothryd. Bothryd, you alright? Sorry we left you out there. It was a bit tense, that was.
Fine.
Anyone likely to get into the lighthouse and hurt themselves?
No. Cut people, help God.
Top man. Oh, what would you do without you,
people
Godfrey?
Send me here.
Oh, you superstar.
You save me. Me help you. Glad and okay.
Yeah.
Now we know what the poison is. Maybe we can try to get in there in the morning.
And I will slap you till next week if you think of going anywhere near that
badly. I will take that diamond out of your chest.
Is it still in my chest? Can I see it? Can I see it in my chest?
It's been... No.
Oh,
there's literally nothing there. Well, there's nothing there anymore. It's just...
That'd be cool as fuck.
Dargon slaps Ander for 24 hit points.
Being exhausted... but I don't want to sleep in this tent. I want to get back to the tavern, to a comfy bed, to some sort of, or as much of a safe place as I can think of right now. Kirek, will you help me gather my things, put my clothes back on so I look respectable, and help me get to the tavern? Because part of me thinks I want to go to bed, but then part of me thinks I don't want to be in my pants in case shit kicks off at some point.
How far away are we from the tavern, roughly?
So,
Yeah, sorry.
in terms of distance, that's a good one.
A couple hundred feet, probably.
Probably more than that, to be honest.
All right.
I was thinking just in time.
At the very least, put the
in
clothes
terms
on.
of in terms of time, it's probably going to be around a 10-minute walk to get back to the tavern from where you are. You're at the other end of town, basically.
Does Anders seem like he can kind of make that journey?
I mean, he's shaken, but with the extra boost from the potion of healing and stuff like that, there is certainly more vitality to him. So he seems like he probably could make the journey.
In that case, I will help him gather his things. And make our way. I will leave with kind of like on the bed, not on the bed, that's going to be something, on a table that I found here. I will leave a bit of kind of parchment with kind of the tenets of the Raven Queen as a kind of parting gift, just kind of exchanging knowledge as a thank you.
As the four of you exit the tent, the herbalist herself has fallen asleep next to the fire. There are other tabaxi patrolling the camp, you could say, patrolling the little campsite. They pay you no heed, and you are free to leave. Nobody interrupts you. You make the journey back towards the tavern. The tavern itself, the windows are dark. You can sort of see just the glowing dying embers of the fire inside. And as you go in, there is a familiar, young, boyish face.
The urge over, I overcome the urge to slam my hand on the desk.
I go, excuse me, young sir.
What?
I'm sorry.
You guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry it's early. Cool, are our rooms still available? Any rooms available?
Yeah. 4?
Yeah.
Or are you two sharing?
No.
Okay. And he just
was he doing that to me and Kirek, was he?
Yeah.
I'll give him the little eyeball to the side, see if he wants to. In jest.
Actually, yeah, we'll take 3 rooms. I'll keep an eye on Anna during the night, just in case.
3.
Pervert.
Grabs 3 keys and just puts them on. Said, yeah, 5 gold for the night. 5 gold for the night each.
Yeah, we just paid you. You're a bit sleepy.
Make me a deception check.
Dargon!
19.
He looks around. Alright. See you later.
As we walk upstairs out of earshot of him, I do turn back to Kirek and is like,
Don't worry, I will pay him in the morning. Just my little fun.
I suppose you need that, so...
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Before you go, could you for the night, I would like to, if you don't mind, have a look at your scimitar, if possible.
Yeah.
I just want to study it.
Alright. But, yeah, look after it.
I pull it out, and hand it, handle or hilt or whatever it is, towards Kirek. I am too exhausted to think about the fact that, to then be cautious or wary. I'm just knackered, but I'm also not going to get undressed, and I'm literally just going to collapse on a bed.
Dargon walks into his room and
And there's a crack of wood.
shakes the tavern.
So, to clarify, Dargon's got the sword in his bag of holding, right?
Yes.
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 So I'll remove it from... but it's a homebrew, so will you have to add it to his
I
character?
was about to say, can you just add it to my character sheet or whatever?
Yep. Or you could just put Broken Blade. If
Broken
you want.
Blade, yeah.
Yeah, cool. And
Can you put it...
suppose
I'm sorry,
another-
I've not done this very often with the bag of holding. Do I put it in my equipment, or do I have to do it in something with the bag of holding?
You just put it in your equipment.
Fine.
You can write a note on
all
it.
the items that I was
Or write a
attuned
note,
to
yeah.
have been... Obviously, I was removed on my clothes. Do I then have to reattune to them once I put them back on?
No.
Okay. I will have to
There is-
reattune to my flame tongue rapier because I removed that for the demon blade. So I'll have to reattune to that tomorrow. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, done that now. Magic.
So Bothryd goes into his own room and is very, very quiet. Although you do faintly hear what sounds like a whoosh of air and then a thunk. Oops.
Just before I pass out, I'm not going to move, I'm literally just face down. But I will just go, thank you for your guidance. And thank you for telling me to trust in other people. I haven't for so long, and I am grateful for the reminder. And thank you again for bringing him back. I know you helped.
Sort of the prayer tails off.
I didn't even finish.
Now I'll fall asleep before any response or anything could have happened. Kirek and Ander, you two head into your room, which is luckily a twin room. Not that you specified.
I don't mind. I'm too exhausted. You can spare me if you
And
want.
I help Ander get in bed.
And then just before
I read him a little
pass
story.
out, yeah.
Pat him on the head.
So, as I live happily ever after, and before I pass out, I just want to say just to Kirek, as I'm in a kind of half sleepy state, please forgive me all of my deceptions. And then I'm asleep. I'm gone.
And Kirek is left to his own devices.
Sinks the blade into Ander now.
Slice.
Kirek, is there anything you wish to do?
Probably raising
Yeah.
like.
Is there anything you wish to
Take that
do
diamond back.
while
yeah,
you
actually,
are on your own?
Yeah. Firstly, I'll let kind of like an hour or so pass, just to make sure that Ander is stable and alive. Really, just to make sure that everything is kind of out of the system.
And you sort of hear the snoring and then the odd.
Yes.
I did eat a lot of moss. He did shove my... It's going to happen.
Nice. In that case, after that happens, I will strip my bed, and place Dargon's sword on the bed. Does it have anything kind of special about it in terms of design?
It's a pretty plain scimitar. However, the gold of the hilt and the handguard is very masterfully crafted, to the point where that part in particular is almost like artwork, and it is certainly gold plated, and then it is just a very sharp, again perfectly crafted steel blade. And as you now study a little bit, you feel the faint hint of magic in there to give it just something extra. It's a +2 blade after. I think it's +2.
Magic.
+2 blade, yeah.
No, dispel magic.
You will need me. No. I
Just goes around dispelling magic on everything.
Yeah. No more swords.
yeah. No, after studying, I will, nod, and I'll pick up. I'll reach into my bag, and I will take out the ruby dust.
Mm-hmm.
I'll place a little bit on my hand, and I will start putting the ruby dust around the sword. I will do my best attempt of making the symbol of Palor with the ruby dust, with the sword in the center. And I will take out the raven feather, place it between me and between myself and that symbol. And then I will place both my hands on the edge of this symbol, this ruby dust symbol, and I will say, let's until the Bonebringer returns, let this be the sword that guides Dargon through. And I will cast Continual Flame.
Nice. Okay.
So would that set the bed on fire?
As I do that, so the ruby, the symbol starts to kind of shine, and then the ruby dust is going to move forward closer to the sword, and I will, because I believe I can make it any color I want. I will attempt to make it as closer to Dawnbringer's brightness as possible. And so the scimitar just goes on fire.
And as you do cast the spell, the ruby dust shrinks. Flame dances along the blades, and where the hilt meets the blade, a red symbol of Palor appears while the flame burns.
Seeing it work, I will grab onto the symbol and I'll say thank you. And I will sheathe the sword and go to sleep.
So you sheathe the sword, place it down on the side, and you two. And part of you is a little apprehensive before you fall asleep. based on some of the things you saw last time, some of the things you heard. But eventually you two drift off into a dreamless sleep as the events of the past probably 48 hours now, I would think, just sort of settle and wash over the lot of you. And we will leave it there for the night. So, an interesting episode, a lot covered. Thank you all for tuning in, for watching. We are immensely grateful for all the support we've been getting so far. If you do want to get involved, please check out our Instagram, our Twitter. We're also on Discord, I believe, which is a pretty cool group on there. My usual thank yous to BattleBards, to Ben Sounds, to Tabletop Audio for our audio and our sound effects. Huge thank you to Incarnate, because they've helped me to really visualize some of the maps we've been using. We will share some of those with the players as we go on where we need it, but just even in my own mind, just helping to plan some of these sessions, it's been really useful. A massive thank you once again. I can't say that enough. I think we hit 100 views on our first video recently, so that's been amazing for us. Other than that, I have been the Dungeon Master, Matt Isbell. You've been watching Malt and Magic. Good evening.